Welcome to Bob Cargill's Marketing Show, a ridiculously awesome podcast bursting with insightful commentaries and intriguing conversations on the topics and issues that are on the minds of marketers, advertisers, social media, and PR professionals today. Hey everybody, this is Bob Cargill from Bob Cargill's Marketing Show. I am so excited to talk to you tonight. You know I come to you often from different venues, talking to different people. You also know that I do some monologues where it's my marketing commentary, but I love doing the interviews, and I've been doing a lot of interviews lately with a lot of ridiculously awesome people, and I have another ridiculously awesome person to introduce you to today, and his name is Jeff DeSocio. And Jeff I met a few years ago at the Sudbury Social Tweet Up, and that's a monthly networking group that I started with Phil Hollis about 8 years ago. Phil has recently moved out of town, so I'm hosting it on my own now. It's a great networking group in Sudbury, Massachusetts at 29 Rustic Mediterranean Restaurant. That's where we meet. But anyways, I met Jeff at one of those events a few years ago. We've stayed in touch. We see each other at AMA Boston events, at various networking events around town. He doesn't live too far away from me. He's in Framingham, I'm in Sudbury, and he's going to introduce himself to you. Folks, here's Jeff DeSocio.
How's it going out there? This is Jeff DeSocio. I'm very happy to be here talking to Bob Cargill. He is... I admire the gentleman. He does so much stuff in the marketing field here in the Boston area, and I love his AMA events, and I've been going to your events every month religiously.
Yes, you have, Jeff.
And
I'm impressed. I'm grateful.
And, you know, it's all about networking, and that's how this whole gets started, Bob, so I'm excited to be here today.
Thanks, Jeff, so much. And yes, we're two like minds when it comes to networking. I think you do even more of it than I do, and I don't know. I never thought that would be possible. So I'm looking at my alter ego here. Competition.
I don't wear glasses yet, though.
You don't wear glasses. It's because you're younger than me.
Not that much.
But yes, Jeff is an inveterate. I think that's the word, networker. I thought I was a big one myself. But Jeff, tell us about all the networking you do. I know you're an IT director by day, but...
Yeah, so I live two lives. So I live the corporate life, and I also live the entrepreneurial life. And I'll tell you, networking is where I discovered the entrepreneurial life. Ironically, tonight we're sitting in the building that I went to my first ever business networking event, and that was back in 2007.
I didn't say where. I don't think I said where we were. We're at Northeastern, the Northeastern University campus in Boston, 716 Columbus Avenue. There's a lot of noise, good noise next door. A big party, a networking party for alumni. But I don't mean to interrupt you. But when you mentioned where we are, I want people to know.
We're at the Northeastern University Alumni Center. So I was in corporate America, and I was at the tail end of one of my jobs at a large retailer based in the Metro West. You probably could guess who it is. And somebody told me about going to try out this networking event in Northeastern. You get to meet some new people, kind of get back to connecting with some alumni here at Northeastern. I went to the event back in 2007, and I say that one day changed my life.
Wow.
It totally changed the way I looked at the world.
By going to
one event.
One network, and that was literally your first ever networking event?
First one.
So you didn't go to any back in the day when you were early in your career?
I was corporate Joe back in the day.
Wow.
So, I went to my job, went home, went out with friends, or went home and watched TV.
So based on that track record, I may still have you beat in terms of networking events, because I've been going since I was young, early in my career. So, but you're catching up on me fast, because you now host networking events, right?
Yes, I do. So, I started going to networking events, and then eventually that's when I started my business in 2008, AMC Business Solutions. So, it's a digital marketing company, love marketing. It's weird. I have this hybrid of IT and marketing in my career.
Yeah, you do. Which is a good combination, Joe. What is the acronym A? Is it
AIMC?
AIMC. What does that stand for?
What does that stand for? Assess, Implement, Monitor, Control. So if you think about when you implement a solution, you assess, you implement it, you monitor it, and then you adjust it or control it.
Yeah, very interesting.
So is
that a term you made up? I mean, that acronym?
I made that up myself, believe it or not.
Very ingenious. I like that. AIMC Solutions. And it's mostly networking, but you also do marketing for clients?
Yeah, so small, mid-sized businesses, we provide responsive websites. We do online reputation management, social media management, social ads, all, pretty much the whole
How did I
digital
not
marketing
know this
suite.
about you? See, I think of you and I just think the networking, and I think recently you reminded me you had another day job, which I didn't know.
Yeah.
I thought you were like networking all day, all night.
See, the whole point of that is I love to give back. I like to always focus on the other person and not on myself. And that's why I like to network. I love to help others. That's why I ended up starting my group in 2013. I started it in Framingham at Pizzeria Uno, of all places.
I know, where that is.
Right at Route
9, yeah.
Yeah, and, I ended up having over 100 people at the first event.
Boom, right out of the gate.
Boom, out of the gate. And I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. I'm meeting, and this is the thing about corporate life, not corporate, versus entrepreneur life. Entrepreneurs are very positive. They're inspiring.
Yeah,
and
no, you're right. We're high energy. Yeah.
High energy. Smiles on the face when you meet them. They're extroverted.
Yep.
And that's another little tidbit about myself. I was an introvert, believe it or not, for many years.
Wow.
I was in IT. I was a techie.
Yeah, that's true. And most techies,
and then
introverted, not social butterflies, if you will. So you morphed. You've evolved. You've spread your wings, and look at you now.
Yeah.
How many networking events do you host regularly?
Well, right now, so I have two groups. I have Mass Professional Networking, which is my main group. We do monthly events, usually the fourth Tuesday of the month in Boston. But I've also evolved out. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Say your other, and then we'll get back to the.
And
Mass Professional.
Because I'm a techie,
yes.
I started Mass Tech Networking, and we do quarterly events. In fact, we have an event here in Northeastern on October 16th.
So Mass Tech is quarterly events. Mass Professionals is monthly.
Monthly, yes.
And if people want to, let's get this out of the way. Usually I save this for the end, but the episode. But if people want to look you up at Mass Professionals Network or Mass Tech.
We have groups on Facebook and LinkedIn.
Okay.
So that's where we have all our events.
Public groups or
public groups?
They don't have to be approved or anything.
They actually do have to be approved.
Okay.
I had to make sure you're from Boston and not from like Dublin.
I get it. You want local people. You're going to eventually meet in person.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And are you the approver?
I am the approver. Yes.
And are you the chief cook and bottle washer at AIMC Solutions?
I am the chief. Well, yes, I am. What we do a lot of affiliate-based marketing where we work with other companies.
Oh.
So it's not. I actually do sleep.
Yes, that's a good thing.
And I work out
to sleep. I know you work out. So we're friends on Facebook, and I know you go to a gym. Wasn't it just today? You said you were up and at 'em early. Didn't you share a picture from some gym like before the sunrise?
Yes, I'm very impressed. I was up before the sunrise this morning. I go to a local LA Fitness. That's another story about myself. I was a skinny little guy in high school. They used to call me Little Jeffy because I was 110 pounds. And a friend of mine wrote in my yearbook, it says, "Jeff, you'll never be a bodybuilder, ever. Ever." He even said ever. And I took that to heart. I started here in Northeast and started working out in college.
Oh, my God.
I actually competed when I was in my late 20s for a little while. I was that slim. I'm not that slim now. But I've worked out consistently.
You're solid, man. I can tell you lift weights. I can tell you work out.
Thanks.
Wow.
But
remember those ads, the 99-pound weakling or something in the cartoons? Or,
yes, yeah.
Do you remember them? I mean, so when you tell me your story about little Jeffy, I think, that was you. You said, I'm not going to be that guy, and I'm going to be this superhero. Yeah. And not only are you in your professional life, but you're a superhero in the gym, too, is what you're telling me. You do look very solid. I have no upper body strength. I'm a runner. But I don't lift weights.
You see, I'm not a good runner, and I used to run a lot also, not one distance like yourself. Because I think running's very good. It's always good to mix free weights with running.
Yep.
I think that's a great hybrid workout
I agree.
routine.
Cross-training.
But I've worked out for 30 years straight. I mean, I've not really missed longer than 2 weeks in 30 years.
That
working
is
out.
so important. As we get older, Jeff, again, once you get my age, ancient, you'll realize, and he says he's not that far behind me, but I think he's maybe a good decade or 15, 2 decades? We're not going to share ages, but
that's not good.
he's a decade or a decade and a half behind me. But he's in great shape. He's muscular, because they can't see us, Jeff. This is only audio.
Yeah,
you know that.
True. Yeah, we could say that.
I'm in great shape too, but I'm not strong in terms of lifting weights, but I'm a strong runner. So between us, we can do anything.
Yeah, you run, I lift.
Yeah.
We'll be good.
Yeah.
But
So-
I kind of always take it upon of health and wellness and entrepreneurism. It kind of blends together.
Did you talk about, I don't think you've mentioned the health and wellness part of your business, did you?
Yeah, so I also, because I was so
As
much
if
into
that's not enough, folks. Jeff still does something else.
I have another company called AIMC Health Solutions, and what we do is it's a kind of a hybrid of fitness advisory, supplementation, diet, and education. So if you think about being healthy, it's a lifestyle. It's not like, if you ever think about a diet, it's not drink this shake and, hey, you're going to lose 20 pounds.
Right.
It has to be a hybrid of
Yep.
exercise, eating the right foods, taking the right supplements,
Yep.
and, of course, educating yourself.
Yep.
Anything from reading the label to understand what's really good for you,
Right.
what's not good for you.
The other day, so I teach a marketing class to acupuncture students, and we were talking about acupuncture, something I don't know a lot about. I know a lot about marketing, that's why I'm teaching marketing, but they know all about acupuncture, and I said I went to some acupuncture appointments last year, and I felt amazingly good afterwards, but after a few days, I felt back to my old self, and they said, "Yeah, you got to change, not just go to the acupuncturist and get the treatment. You have to change the way you live, in terms of diet and exercise and posture, et cetera, et cetera." So, as you're saying, it's a package deal. You can't just drink a shake, or you can't just get a few needles at the acupuncturist. It's more than that.
It would be a lot easier if we could just give you a needle, and then all of a sudden you look like a big muscle dude, right? That's impossible.
It doesn't work that way.
It's a lot of hard work, and
Yes.
that goes back to being an entrepreneur. What I've always discovered over the years is being an entrepreneur is hard, and it's hard when you also have a corporate job during the day, and you're an entrepreneur nights and weekends. But I love it.
Jeff, go ahead.
I was going to say I really love. It's a thrill to be able to live both lives.
Yes.
Of seeing what it's like during the day, and then being an entrepreneur and meeting some amazing people. I've met thousands of people in Boston. I didn't even tell you about my group in Florida I'm starting.
He's got a Florida group, too.
Treasure Coast, Florida Professional Networking. I'm going to be partnering with someone down there to start doing events down there starting in February next year. It kind of comes full circle, Bob, that I hate cold weather. So I want to live in Florida in the winter and Boston in the summer, because I would never leave Boston.
You are smart. And I see you on Facebook, and again, you do, I don't know about your sleep, but you said you get sleep. I know you get exercise, you're telling me that, and I've seen some pictures. I also know you travel and have a good work-life balance. You enjoy yourself. You go to, I think, concerts and travel.
Love music. That's another hobby of mine. I am trying to play guitar. And it's always a challenge to play guitar. I really admire musicians, because anyone that can listen to a song and then just play it on their guitar blows my mind. I still have to read music to play guitar.
I learned to read music when I was young. I took piano lessons, but it didn't stick. I only took 3 years of piano lessons when I was a kid. My sister, on the other hand, took those same piano lessons, and she loved it and took them for years, and now she's a music teacher, a church organist.
Nice.
Yeah, at a young age, she learned music. You're learning it, teaching yourself in an older age.
Yes, I started playing guitar. I actually went to a Journey concert. This is another evolution. Northeastern was with the networking. I went to see Journey back in 2006, and Neil Sean was jamming. I was like, I gotta be him, right? I don't know if I'll ever be him, but I want to learn how to play guitar, so I started playing guitar. I've been playing for about 13 years now, I do post some videos every once in a while, Bob.
I have seen you playing the guitar.
I played Freebird this year. I just posted a video of "Wish You Were Here" by Pink Floyd. I did.
Oh, I did not see that. I love that song.
That's a great tune.
You are a Renaissance man. Do you know that term? I mean, it's someone who does a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I'm jack of all trades, master of none.
Well, I think you're master of a lot of trades.
Yeah.
I mean, from what I see and hear, and it's very impressive, Jeff. Tell me about how marketing. Oh, I know. I wanted to go back. I was going to interrupt you before, and I held back.
No worries.
When you said entrepreneurs, we it's a lot of work, and it's hard work, like weightlifting, like running marathons, like I do. And I was going to say, absolutely. You and I go into these networking events doing even something like this podcast. It's often on our own time. It's often extra hours. I mean, I came in from Sudbury today. I was in my home office all day. I came in just to do this podcast because I love doing what I do. I'm an entrepreneur too. I couldn't wait to talk to you and do this podcast.
Great. Thank you for fighting that Boston traffic coming in.
It actually was not bad. Sometimes the reverse commute is in today's case, it was not as bad as everyone was going home when I was coming in. But my point is, I think the average person, Jeff, is home by now, maybe having a cocktail, maybe sitting down on the couch watching TV. I know people like you and me are out, on average a couple of nights a week, maybe more. If not, we're at our computers working. And I'm not saying we're all work, no play, but we are putting in extra time. And that's what I think anyone in business who wants to be successful has to do. Or put it this way, anyone who wants to be successful in business and still enjoy themselves has to do. It doesn't come easy. You got to put in that extra work so that you'll be fulfilled in what you do with your career.
I totally agree with that. One thing, the TV never goes on. This is very embarrassing to say, but I still have a TV with a big back. I don't have a flat. Yeah. So I think the TV goes on once.
So there's your secret.
Yeah, no TV. Except for Shark Tank. I watch Shark Tank.
Well, that's
on Sunday nights.
A good inspirational show. And
it's entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
I met Damon John, in Miami a couple of years ago.
Okay.
Promised him I was going to watch his show religiously.
Oh, my God.
And he patted me on the head and said, "Thank you, sir."
Oh, my God.
Yeah, he was a great guy. Going for Broke, that's a great book by him.
So I do not watch the show. I have watched it a few times in my day, but not. I couldn't name anybody on the show, but I've seen clips of it from time to time. I know it's a good show, and it's all about people who like you and me who pitch their business to people like you and me who are millionaires or billionaires.
Yeah, billionaires. Don't stop at millionaires. But and I look for inspiration everywhere I go. I also like to be inspired. That show inspires me because you see entrepreneurs. Yes. Getting up in front of Mr. Wonderful is one of the hardest people to speak in front of, and they're pitching their product or service. So I like doing. That's where I actually kind of talk about what I've done also that's helped me tremendously. Is I did Toastmasters back in 2010. I got through the 10 speeches and all that, and it really taught me to get up in front of people, no matter who they are. And I think that was my transition from the introverted IT guy, corporate IT guy, to having multiple businesses and running networking events, not being afraid to get in front of people. So I really encourage folks out there, check out something like Toastmasters because it will build your confidence. Anything to build your confidence to be able to get out there and promote yourself, because at the end of the day, your personal brand is very important. You want to promote how you can help others, and I think I want to focus on that as a personal brand. How's your brand help others, and that's where a lot of the things I do. That's why I do what I do.
So I keep wanting to interrupt you because the things you're saying are resonating with me, Jeff. I can't remember if we talked about this before, but I did Toastmasters as well.
Very good.
Long time ago. Because all my stories are a long time ago because I'm ancient. But in 1990, I went through Toastmasters for about 5 years. And then later on in the 90s, I helped start a corporate club at a company I worked for. So I have about 6 years of Toastmasters experience. And I absolutely agree. It's a game changer, a life changer. Like you said, it helps you become confident. It helps you go from introvert to extrovert. And that's going to be a quality that's going to give you a better chance of succeeding in life.
I agree. And No, I also, even in addition to the events, I also do monthly social media educational events. I've been partnering with the Microsoft store in Boston, and I'm actually doing something next Tuesday, Social Media 101 at the Microsoft store in Boston.
You just gave me an idea, but I'll save it for later.
We should do a
Guess who else is teaching Social Media 101 in a few weeks?
You are.
Yeah, it's
awesome.
Somewhere else.
We're going to be the tag team, buddy. What do you think?
This is like I'm trying to think of the like Batman and Robin, or
exactly,
or
a new movie.
Yeah, I mean Jeff and Bob, because we live in the same area. We go to networking events. We both have an interest in marketing. We're both entrepreneurs, both high energy.
Very high energy.
Yeah.
Vitamin B is really the secret there for high energy.
That's secret's a lot of caffeine.
Caffeine, yeah.
But that's why you're the health and wellness coach.
That's right. Yeah. Coffee's okay. The key with coffee, not to divert, is...
No, you can divert anytime.
Cut the cream and milk. Have the coffee black. It's actually kind of healthy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could probably do that, although as I'm saying that, I'm thinking, but I go to Starbucks all the time, and I love their cold brew, pumpkin cold brew.
Awesome. Yeah.
But that's not black coffee.
Yeah, it's not.
Well, the cold brew could be black, right, without anything else, but I like that pumpkin cream, whatever flavor.
Hey, we're in the fall right now, right?
Exactly. Everything's pumpkin.
Pumpkins.
So, Jeff, about marketing specifically, this is, a marketing show. I love to steer it in that direction. Not that everything we've talked about already doesn't have a little something to do with marketing, but tell me how you market your respective businesses, how you get people to come out to your networking events. Do you use social media? Is it general advertising? How do you get in a sold-out house at your events? Or close to it.
So I do, it's a lot of personal reference, a combination of email marketing, social media. The social channels I use mostly is Facebook and LinkedIn for my events. And I think it's just word of mouth. It's really word of mouth. And what's happening, how the group has grown to about 6,000 members.
6,000 members?
If you combine all my groups together. How did that happen? It's really over time.
Yeah, you're Batman and I'm Robin, because my Sudbury Social tweet up only has about 120 in our group on Facebook.
We'll help that.
6,000 folks. Not only is he the weightlifter and the Batman to my Robin, he has about 100x times more people in his group than I have in mine.
Yes.
So definitely give me your secrets to marketing.
So marketing, here's the key with events. And, I always encourage anyone out there, it's not that bad to start your own networking group. And how you market it, I always say people are very structured. They your event should be a certain day of the certain week, like Fourth Tuesday is because everyone looks forward to it.
I agree. That's real smart marketing. When I became president of AMA Boston, I said, let's do this. They had a networking group a networking meeting that wasn't getting frankly, for a few months, a lot of attendance. And I was thinking how we do it at the Tweet Up. It's the last Thursday of every month. So we're doing it now the second Thursday of every month. Same place, same time. And you're right, it becomes something people have on their calendar, and they become conditioned to going to.
Exactly. And your group has been booming this year. I have to say, the second Thursday, Back-Based Social, love going to that event.
Thank you.
I think we're taking over the whole ground floor of that.
I know.
It's really good.
It's a credit to everyone, obviously, on the board at AMA Boston, all our members. I'm just saying the idea of the regularly scheduled programming, if you will, I totally buy into, and I did emphasize that when I became president. But it's a team effort, and it may be also because you're coming to those events. You're probably bringing a following, Jeff.
Well, a little bit. You are. But going back to how we market it in the events, it's really a combination. I don't like to plug people with a lot of email, so I only send 1 or 2 email marketing campaigns a month on my events, and it's really hitting different groups. Now, on social media, LinkedIn and Facebook, you have a lot of different networking groups. I'll just plug my event at those groups. Like in the Metro West, there's a Metro West networking group on Facebook. If I do an event out in the Framingham, Natick area, I'll plug my event there. And I think that really helps.
Are your events free to attend, or is there a cost?
For the early birds.
For the early birds.
For the early birds. So the key of my event, once I post them, register. because then within 2 weeks of the event, I do charge because for our time. And
of course. No, I understand. And if you don't mind sharing, can you share what the percentage of people who get early and therefore get free versus pay later on?
70-30. 70% free, 30% pay.
Okay.
It really depends on the weather, and this is a big thing in the winter. I see a lot more paid because people wait till the day of. Because it's not going to snow.
Yep.
But we've been very lucky. I'm knocking my head here, wood. The last couple of winters, every event has gone on. I've not been snowed out.
Wow.
Believe it or not.
You know I'm having this event coming up in late November, right? I've talked to you about it at Hudson.
22nd.
I think I need to talk to you about some of your secrets to getting people to attend. I mean, I think I'm going to have no problem eventually, hopefully, filling the room. But I think if I talk to you, then I could rest assured.
We will work together on that one. November 22nd.
Yeah, November 22nd, Friday, out of office, Bob Cargill's Marketing Road Show.
Road Show. Where are you traveling to?
All the way to Hudson.
All the way to Hudson. I'll tell you, anyone to go out there, Hudson is, anyone that lives in that area, you got to check out downtown Hudson. I'll tell you, that place is
Totally
agree. It's, you got great restaurants down there. Yep. You got out of office is a great co-working space. Out of office,
yep, ridiculously awesome co-working space.
But one of the tip about networking is videos. I'll tell you, I do a video a week. I'll promote my events on video. Videos are very viral, especially on Instagram, Facebook.
Yes.
A lot of those platforms. Yes. Videos really get the right people too. So I do a combo. I don't do one channel. I do multi-channel marketing to promote my events.
Folks, you're learning a lot by listening to Jeff, and as am I, and he's really corroborating, reinforcing, underscoring a lot of what I believe about marketing. He's talking about video and how to price, the strategy for getting people in the door, incentivizing them to act early. They'll get in free, but hey, if they don't, you'll make a little money.
Yeah,
but you got to sweat it out a little. But he's given away a lot of secrets, and I hope people are taking notes and didn't just listen to the beginning of this episode, because you're really getting into some good nitty gritty. Personally, Jeff, marketing. What do you think about social media? What's your favorite channel? You mentioned Facebook and LinkedIn. That telling me you might not use Instagram and Twitter, or
I'm a big Instagram guy now.
You are? Okay.
So because I have two types of business. I have a B2B with AMC Business Solutions, B2C with AMC Health Solutions. My health and wellness business is more B2C.
Yes.
So it really depends on the channel. LinkedIn, obviously, for B2B. I don't think there's a better platform for B2B today. Instagram for B2C. B2C is Instagram.
Instagram is very hot.
But guess what I just signed up for, finally? TikTok.
I had a feeling you were going to say that.
Yes, I checked out TikTok. Now, TikTok is, I say the new Snapchat, because it seems like Snapchat's kind of tailed off a little bit.
Yep.
Instagram is owned by Facebook, as everyone knows. So, and Instagram's still growing, but we don't. Facebook's an unknown right now. If you you've heard the news lately, Mark Zuckerberg's getting sued and all that. So, like my businesses, I have multi-businesses. I always look at multi-platforms.
I agree. Diversify. I totally agree with you on that.
I say TikTok, I got to check that out a little bit more. It's all video based.
Yep. No, I know a little bit about TikTok. My recent video I did was about the Old Town Road, that song, and Little Nas X. And in that video, I talked about how that song broke on TikTok. It went viral. He was an emerging artist and put that song on, I believe, the story goes, on TikTok first. Yeah. And it went crazy, blew up, and that's how he got discovered. And now look at him, a superstar.
That's the biggest song ever on the Billboard Hot 100. Spent 19 weeks in #1.
On the Billboard Hot 100, yes.
Biggest song ever.
You and I have, again, music. I don't know, my Little Nas X video, I talked about this, and I said, but I got to eat my own dog food. I said get on all these different channels. TikTok's the one I haven't used yet. I am on it, but I haven't used it. I've only looked at other people's videos, so I got to start trying it.
Yes. So getting back to B2C, Instagram's #1. Yep. Facebook, obviously, you can't beat Facebook.
Yep.
And I don't do a lot of product promotion on these channels. I do a lot more personal branding. You saw my video of the gym up with the sunset.
Yes.
Yeah, because what and that's a little tip if you do sell a product or service. People want to buy from you. They don't want to buy the product. So if they see your personal brand, if they see what you do on a day-to-day basis, they'll buy your story. And what's Instagram have? Instagram stories.
Literally.
So that's why I like Instagram for that choice. Is you post a story, hey, this is what I did today. This is Jeff doing the bench press or whatever. That's just telling a story, stay in shape. And then that could lead to a conversation that could potentially lead to business.
Agree with you. People buy from people, and if they see you on a regular basis, they get to know you, they like you, they trust you, they respect you, and as long as you have something to offer that interests them, they'll eventually do business with you.
And if I don't, that's why you have a network. And I'm from Rhode Island, believe it or not. Great place to live, awesome place to grow up.
I grew up in Franklin, not far from the Rhode Island border.
Province. But the old saying in Rhode Island is, I know a guy. Right? I know a guy. And, that's a great thing about networking. If I can't help somebody through my events or through my products and services, I may know somebody that can help somebody. That
would be a great name for a podcast or a book. I know a guy.
I know a guy.
I never heard that story.
Yeah.
I mean that's a thing in Rhode Island.
It's big time in Rhode Island.
I know a guy. I'm going to use that, even though I'm not from Rhode Island. I'm going to borrow it. I'll credit you.
Yeah,
and you'll be the guy I can say I know.
I know a
guy who told me about the story. I know a guy. That everyone says that in Rhode Island. Very interesting. So, what else about who do you think is this a curveball? We didn't discuss We didn't discuss any of these questions really specifically beforehand. Talked about what we were going to talk about in general. But I'm going to ask you, what brands, businesses do you think do a good job? It could be someone local down the street or that you see on TV, although you don't watch much TV. But do any ads, any types of advertising, any marketing stand out that any individuals who, it could be local, could be anything. Who does a good job in your mind besides you and me?
Who does a good job? You ever heard of the company Drift?
Yes, I do know about
Dave Cancel.
Yes.
He's the CEO. I think they do a great job.
Okay.
They're very colorful. Their Instagram posts are very colorful. They catch you. And Dave, you're out there. Hi, good job out at your company. Some of the local, everyone knows that's not from Boston. Boston has a lot of sneaker shoe companies.
Yes.
I think a lot of the companies here, like Puma, Converse, New Balance do a great job.
Just drove by the corporate headquarters on the Pike.
Yes, you see it right next to the Celtics and Bruins buildings there.
Yep.
But I think a lot of the shoe companies in Boston do a great job. They just they think outside the box, and that's the whole thing about marketing is thinking outside the box. I'll tell you, someone that doesn't do a good job, believe it or not, is Grant Cardone. He's too much.
Who?
Grant Cardone he does sales training. He wrote the book that does 10x.
Okay.
10x your actions.
Okay.
Great. That's good marketing, but he is like in your face.
Too aggressive. But if it works for him, so what if he's very successful? Because sometimes that would be their argument. Because I agree with you. I don't like over the top. I don't like aggressive. I don't like people you see do pop up in your feed every single moment possible, and it's buy this. But maybe it works for him. You know what I mean? Is he a millionaire?
He's billionaire. So whatever it takes.
Well, you why don't you call him up and tell him I don't think that's working for you, Grant.
He'll be like, who are you? Some guy from Boston, right?
But you know what? If he was starting out today, if he was starting out today, maybe it wouldn't work. You know what I mean? That way might have got him to where he is now, so he doesn't know any way else, maybe. Yeah. And maybe his audience loves that. I agree with you. I like a softer sell. I like what you and I are talking about is the storytelling and getting to know people and that's where social media comes in because you have video, you have audio like podcasts. I mean, if someone listened to this podcast, how could they not want to hang out with us, right?
I know. Have a few ginger ales.
Yeah, that is all I'm drinking. I don't know about you, but
ginger ale.
Maybe later we can have a beer or something.
Yes.
But yeah. So, what do you think about podcasts. Have you thought of having one yourself?
I actually had one through this company called UR Business Network back in 2014. It's amazing saying back in 2014.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be 2020 next year.
2020.
So for 2 years,
yes.
It was actually called DeSocio Strategies. My last name's DeSocio, so it was a little pull. My name, DeSocio Strategies.
I get it, yeah.
So what I did is I was doing it for about 2 years, and I would have guests, business people in the area, Boston Business Journal, IT companies. They'll come in. We'll talk about how they market their business. Mm-hmm. I actually had this a rock star. I don't know if you know the band Lansdowne. They're
I think I've heard of them.
Yeah, they actually the lead singer Joe Ricci. He grew up in Waylands.
Okay.
So I had him on the show one day, and he's very clever in what he does. They're not, it's not a household name, but they do very well. They market everything on their own.
Interesting.
And they play all over the world. They play for the military and like Korea.
I feel like I might have seen them. Is he a great lead singer?
He has a great voice.
Yeah.
He has it's kind of a hard rock sound. They went a little country too. But
I've heard of them definitely. I feel like I might have seen them at one point, but maybe not.
They I had him. So I had that my show there, and unfortunately that company that was doing my podcast went out of business. Okay. So I moved on to my events. I think I really started focusing on my own personal brand after that.
How about recording a podcast live at one of your events? Would there be an opportunity? Would that be something? In other words, people sit around and watch, or I don't know. I got to go to one of your events, right? First, to see what they're all about. But so. That said, tell us, what do people do at your events? I know you said your job is to help everybody, but what do they actually do for a couple hours?
They just hang out. No, actually, what they do is, and I love this. What distinguishes mass professional networking events from others is I actually have roving hosts that go around and make sure that everyone's very comfortable.
That's really smart. Really smart.
Especially if one thing about Boston, I've noticed a lot of people moving to Boston. They're moving from other parts of the country. So the whole idea is to really make somebody comfortable. And I've heard I get a lot of emails after an event. That was a great event. Why? Because everybody's there to help each other. Mm-hmm. And the clientele that we're getting at our events, they're all there. They're not many sales pitches.
Yep.
I do teach networking. So one of the big questions I always ask is, what brings you here? Mm-hmm. What books you read, not like what do you do. That's like the oldest question in the book. What do you do? And we coach people on what to do. So sometimes somebody goes to me and says, "Oh, I've never been to a networking event before." Awesome, let me help you. Linnell, my colleague that works with me, she'll take the table. I'll go around and introduce this person to other people that I know, and it grows.
Interesting. Very interesting.
And everybody's so positive. That's what I love about networking.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. They come to your events. You're positive. They're positive. But that's one, I believe, a credit to you. And you set the tone. And as you said, in general, I think people who are entrepreneurs, that's just how they are. That they're naturally that way. They're go-getters.
Yeah, you have to be a go-getter today. I think just in general. But the event's usually 2 hours. Most of them are social events. We do have occasional events where we have speakers. I really like to focus on the networking. Yep. You left my event, you met 5 to 10 great people that you're going to follow up with, not a bunch of business cards. And we really want to focus on that. You don't need to go and meet 50 people in one night. Really focus on 5, maybe 10 people that you met, and then have a coffee with half of those people, and build that relationship with them. And that's what we focus on our events. When somebody comes to my event, let's work on that. I have a networking cheat sheet I could share with you.
Wow.
Basically,
that's very cool.
Shows you like what to do before the event, during the event, and after the event.
I definitely have an idea for my event. If you can mark your calendar, Jeff, seriously, Friday, November 22, and
I'm taking that day off from corporate Joe. So
that would be awesome.
Just for you.
That would be awesome, man. And we're gonna have fun and network, and you're gonna give me a few tips on how to work the crowd that day. I have another curveball for you because you gave me an idea. What books have you been reading lately?
I'm another plug for Drift. I'm reading Conversational Marketing right now. It's about building conversations and using chatbots for a business. Like you're
and that is what Drift does.
That's
a little
what they
bit.
do. Yeah. I also have a new book I'm going to read called The One Thing. And I can't remember.
Heard of that. I've heard of that.
So I'm, and this is. I think I really need that book because I focus on many things.
Yes.
So I need to really focus on one thing. So I can't wait to read that book.
Interesting.
Yeah, and
I would have trouble focusing on just one thing.
Me too. I have.
What's
the word? What's the word that you're all over the place sometimes?
Well, ADD.
ADD.
Scatterbrained. I'll speak for myself. Sometimes I feel scatterbrained. But yeah, we go off in many different places. But I think that's a quality of entrepreneurs too. I mean, we are types to not necessarily be patient and not necessarily are we real focused because we're going in many different directions at once. I mean, literally, I had a client call this afternoon in Sudbury. I'll admit I took a little time off to go for a run at lunch. I did a lot of work today, and then I get ready for this tonight. And we're doing a multitude of things. I do a little copywriting, a little social media, like you, a lot of networking, public speaking. In reading of books. My book is not a business book. I'm reading a book about Rolling Stone, the magazine, and Jan Wenner, the publisher. It's a fantastic book. I subscribe to Rolling Stone. It has nothing to do with marketing, but although he inspired me, and Rolling Stone inspired me because I always wanted to be a writer, and I thought I'd write for Rolling Stone, but I ended up being a copywriter in the marketing field. But the book about Rolling Stone, I think it's called Sticky Fingers. Jan Wenner, all about him as the publisher of Rolling Stone. And it's still going strong, that magazine. You like music. You must have read that magazine. I
actually used to subscribe to the magazine. I just have the online version now.
Okay.
I have a storage bin of Rolling Stone magazines from the 80s that I have tucked away in my house.
Is there anything you and I don't have in common except for the difference in 10 or 15 years? Because it's so funny what you just said. Down in my cellar, I have a stack of Rolling Stone. And you said from the 80s, mine are from the 70s. And I have the newspaper, because it was a newspaper back then.
It was a newspaper, yeah. So, because that's another passion of mine is music.
Unbelievable.
I love music, go to concerts on a regular basis.
I don't think there's anything you like that I don't like. I think we're
You were on BCN at one time, right?
No. Well, no, I was on the radio back. I was on the Dean College radio one summer, going way back, as an internship. I had an internship at WBZ FM. Yeah. And what else? Up at Bates, where I went my first 3 semesters of college. I got on. Did I get? No, I didn't get on the radio station there, but I tinkered with. I have a picture of me behind the what do you call all the dials and knobs and
I know the old radios with the
no, but I mean in the studio. I know I went over there to the radio studio a little bit. So what I'm saying is, at a young age I wanted to be in broadcasting, TV, radio, but I ended up in newspapers. Mass media was what I gravitated towards. But I ended up in marketing, which in a way is mass media.
It is today.
Yeah.
If you think about it, what you were thinking about doing back in the day, what you're doing now is pretty much very close.
I've never thought of it that. I mean, I have a little bit, but look at me, look at us. We got a microphone in front of us. This is like radio, a podcast.
Now think about if it was 1985. How would we do this meeting today? It would probably be in a room with a bunch of knobs, right?
Yeah.
10, 3, 2, 1, whatever.
It probably wouldn't have happened because it would have been too complicated, and you had to know people, you had to have the connections, the expertise, the money. Do you know what I mean? To get all that equipment.
Yep.
Now, I have a microphone that I bought at Best Buy, my phone, the app Podbean, my computer, and a little sign that says Bob Cargill's Marketing Show. And you were given a gift before you even did this podcast from me, Jeff.
I love this cup. This is really cool.
Cheers.
Cheers. We're filling this up with cold brew tomorrow morning.
Love that.
Yeah.
Jeff's talking about a Bob Cargill Marketing Show mug so he can promote me wherever he goes. So it can't just stay at home in your kitchen. It has to.
It'll be coming to the office.
Love that.
In Boston.
Love that. Folks, this has been Jeff DeSocio, and Jeff's going to tell you how to reach him if you want to reach out to him, and I would if I were you.
So I have a lot of channels. So I'll start with my blog. DeSocialConnector.com is my blog.
How do you spell that?
It's DeSocial Connector, CONNECTOR.com. AIMC Biz Solution is Twitter. And then just look me up on Facebook, Jeffrey DeSocio.
Jeffrey DeSocio, and that's DeSocio.
Oh, yes.
Awesome.
And Mass Professional Networking. Love you all to join the group. And just plug for Bob here, too. AMA Boston is booming. You got to check us out on the, come to a future event.
Yeah, you helped at one of our events.
We did a great panel.
I appreciate it.
It was about employee engagement, actually. It was like 2 weeks ago.
Yes, it was a great panel, yes. So folks, this has been Bob Cargill from Bob Cargill's Marketing Show interviewing Jeff DeSocio, and Jeff's told you all about him and his business, and you guys know all about me, and all I can say about you guys is I thank you for listening, I thank you for tuning in, and I will look forward to talking to you again very, very soon. This has been Bob Cargill's Marketing Show. Thanks for listening.